Hi. Now we are going to discuss the. I think for this video we'll be discussing the 10 MCQs and then first three structure questions lah. Okay. So I want you to try beforehand first lah. So you try 10 MCQ first, and then after that you watch the part for the 10 MCQ, and then after that you try one structure question, watch one structure question video lah. Watch the part for the structure question lah. So for 10 MCQs I write here lah. I want you to take about because here we have 10 questions ma. So you take 20 minutes to go and do the MCQs first, and then after that only watch this part of video and then we discuss lor. Okay. I think you should be done lah by this time, because you already came back and watched the video ma. Okay, so look at the first question. The nutrition of plants involves a reaction to manufacture and supply carbohydrates. What are the raw materials and waste materials? Okay. Raw materials and waste products, sorry. For this reaction, what reaction is this? Photosynthesis lor. Okay. They say supply carbohydrates. This one should be glucose lah. Okay. So this one you can look back to the word equation or chemical equation of photosynthesis lah. So this one should be carbon dioxide plus water, and then with light and chlorophyll you will get glucose C6H12O6 plus O2. So, and then to balance the equation, 6, 6, 6. Okay, raw materials, carbon dioxide and water. So, wrong. Answer should be donkey. And then waste product, oxygen. Waste product is oxygen is waste product for the plants, but not for us. Okay, we need oxygen. And then after that, number 2. In a science investigation, the student variegated a plant which removed starch by placing the plants in a dark room for 48 hours. This one they remove starch first lor, or in other words, if in my notes you will see the starch. The student chose a leaf and placed a thin piece of black paper across the leaf. Okay. So this one means that this part don't have sunlight. The plant was then placed under light for 24 hours. At the end, okay, after that they put in iodine solution lor. Okay, which one will turn blue black? For iodine, if it's from yellow to blue black, this means that starch is present. If remains yellow color, this means that no starch present lor. Okay, so this one this is the leaf ma. This one is the black paper. So the part, okay, white part means that no chlorophyll. So when they have no chlorophyll, even though it's exposed to the sunlight, it is still no photosynthesis occur. So no glucose form, no starch form. And then green part got chlorophyll. Okay, so here green part so we have chlorophyll. If there is presence of chlorophyll and then they have sunlight also, this one photosynthesis occur. If photosynthesis occur, glucose is formed, starch is present. Okay, this is the stem. Notice that the stem is still white in color. So not the answer also. This one no sunlight. So confirm no photosynthesis. Okay, so what is the answer? The answer should be A lor. Okay, let's look at number 3. The bar chart illustrates the average number of chloroplasts in 4 different types of cells found in the leaves of a plant. So this one is like very less but still got chloroplast. 2 a lot. 3 quite much lah. 4 totally none. So let's see it's like that. The most one it's always palisade mesophyll cells. And then after that okay, we write it like that from most to least . So the most one is always palisade mesophyll cells, and then after that followed by spongy mesophyll cells, and then guard cells if it's on the leaf this kind of cells. Lastly only epidermal cell, means like the skin cell for plants. So this one you see highest is palisade, correct, and then followed by spongy because the third one is the second most chloroplasma. So the answer should be boil . Okay, and then after that let's move on. Number 4. Which of the following best describes mineral ions needed by plants and their roles? So this one okay, nitrate and magnesium. If you refer back to the notes, nitrate is for making amino acid . And then magnesium is making chloroplast. So the answer should be D lah. Okay. Number 5. The line graph shows the effect of limiting factors on the rate of photosynthesis. Okay. So this one, one is temperature is 30. So this one remember. Temperature increase, photosynthesis rate. Increase also, but until certain temperature. Okay, and then the second one is concentration of carbon dioxide increase, and then photosynthesis rate also. Increase, but they will still be controlled by other limiting factors lah. And then after that, the third reason is the light intensity. This one increase, photosynthesis rate also increase lah. So this one is all the 3 limiting factors. Okay, so let's see. Which of the following correctly describes the limiting factor at each point of the graph? So point 1, point 2, point 3. Point 1 is over here, so it's in the graph 1 lah. Okay. Temperature is high enough, 30. Concentration is high enough also lah, compared to the others. And then just that light intensity is still not at the most lah. So this one should be this one. Wait, let me see. Yeah. And then the second one. The temperature is actually lower than the other two for this one. And then this one is concentration of carbon dioxide lah. So temperature, concentration of the carbon dioxide. The answer should be A. Okay. Number 6. A student carried out an investigation to study photosynthesis of a plant. So here you have sodium hydroxide and then lime water. This one is the species of the plant, and then here you have black paper, and then this one is lime water. Air in, air out. So the sodium hydroxide, okay, given that carbon dioxide in the air is removed by sodium hydroxide, so this one remove carbon dioxide, sorry. So this one by right here don't have CO2, so this one they will stay clear. Okay, and then this one here got plant walk, means photosynthesis occur. Means that carbon dioxide is present. So here they will turn cloudy lor. And then you see which answer is correct for both floods. C ma. So the answer will be C lor. Okay, let's move on. Number 7. Which of the following correctly shows the conversion of energy performed by the plants when they carry out photosynthesis? So this one, they will use the light energy from the sunlight and then they will change it to chemical energy because they produce food ma. So the answer will be boil lor. Okay, number 8. Diagram shows an experimental design to investigate the photosynthesis of plants. Okay, so this one, here is both of us also have green leaf and then hydrogen carbonate indicator, and then but this one you have black paper. So black paper means no sunlight or no light in general. In this experiment, 2 similar leaves are each placed into test tubes respectively as shown in the diagram. Test tube 1 is covered with black paper while test tube 2 is exposed to light. Both test tubes are set aside for 24 hours. What would be the color change of... Okay, so this one, the hydrogen carbon indicator, if not mistaken, the color already color and the meaning of the color already inserted into the notes lah. So this one, when yellow means carbon dioxide present, and then this one is at high concentration also. I write like that lah. High concentration of carbon dioxide. When it's purple means low carbon dioxide. So this one, test tube 1, got black paper. So wait, let me think. Okay, this one, is not because that this one is not about photosynthesis already. Sorry, because I'm quite tired already. So this one, because already don't have CO2 ma. So even though there's light, you don't have CO2, you cannot so no photosynthesis. But respiration occur. So respiration will produce carbon dioxide. That's why it turns cloudy lah. Okay, so this one, test tube 1, no sunlight, so no photosynthesis. But respiration occurs. This one, photosynthesis occurs. Okay, so this one, if respiration occurs, means they will produce large amount of the carbon dioxide lah. So high concentration of carbon dioxide, they should be yellow color lah, the indicator. Okay, and then after that, and Test tube 2. Even though photosynthesis occurs, respiration will also occur. But the photosynthesis already reduced the concentration of carbon dioxide. So this one, test tube 2 should have low concentration of carbon dioxide. This means that it should be purple. So yellow and purple. Answer is D. Okay. Number 9. A student carried out an experiment using the apparatus shown in the diagram to measure the rate of photosynthesis by counting the number of oxygen bubbles released by alluvial species in every minute. Okay, the plants lah. Okay, this is the setup. Measuring cylinder, beaker, and an inverted funnel. This is the plant. And then bright light. These gas bubbles is actually means that the oxygen produced lah. If more bubble means photosynthesis. High rate of photosynthesis. The student repeated the experiment several times and calculate the average amount of oxygen bubbles released in every minute. Okay. What are the variables should be kept constant? So constant variable. Okay. This one, let's see. The RV over here, RV is responding variable lah. So this one, the RV here is actually average amount and then this one, size of beaker, duration of exposure. Size of beaker actually don't really have a huge effect for the plants lah, for photosynthesis. The size actually matters because if the size is larger, means that there's more chloroplast, more chlorophyll, so photosynthesis rate can be higher. And then amount of water, not really, but duration for exposure to sunlight. Wait. This one can be different. If you want to, this one can, how to say these two can really so these two lah, duration for exposure, because different size have different chloroplast, different amount of chloroplast. And then duration for exposure to sunlight, more exposure to sunlight means higher photosynthesis rate. So the answer should be boy. Okay. And then number 10. The diagram shows a microscopic cross-sectional of the leaf. In the diagram, which type of cells absorb the most carbon dioxide during the day? So let's see. D is actually epidermal cells. This one, palaeocyte, mesophyll cells. This one, spongy mesophyll cells. And then these two guard cells. This one is vascular bundle. And then they consist of xylem and phloem. Okay. Absorb the most carbon dioxide means highest photosynthesis rate lah. So epidermal cells, they don't really do photosynthesis lah, because they don't have chloroplasts. And then guard cells, they are at the bottom of the leaf wall. Spongy mesophyll cells, they have many chloroplasts also, but not as much as palisade. So the answer should be C lor. Okay, so that's all for the 10 MCQs. So now I want you to try and do structure question number 1. So this one let me see 3 marks. Total you have 8 marks. So this question I want you to give yourself about 15 minutes. You just pause the video and then you go to try and do lah. And then after that you come back. Okay, I think you should be back. Okay, so let's see. Number 1, plants carry out photosynthesis, which involves taking in materials needed for energy, growth and development. Okay. A, define the term photosynthesis. So let's write lor. Always when they ask you to define you must write down the term first. Photosynthesis is, and then the definition. You can say manufacture or production of carbohydrate, and then has to be specific. Which one? Glucose, from raw materials, carbon dioxide, and water, and then using energy from sunlight. Okay, this will be your 3 marks answer lah. Okay, let me find, I think we use this color. Okay, so the first mark will be at manufacture of, and then you must write glucose and then after that, from raw materials. Which raw materials? Carbon dioxide and water, must write. And then after that, using energy from sunlight. So this one you write down, and then we'll be moving on. Okay, in table 1.1, state 2 raw materials and 1 waste product. So from the equation we already know lah, carbon dioxide plus water and then form glucose plus oxygen. This one is the main product of photosynthesis. Then oxygen becomes the waste lor. So raw materials, if they asked you to state, you have to write the full name. So carbon dioxide, and then water. What they form? Waste product, oxygen. And then let's look at C. All sources of energy originated from the sun. State how the plants obtain energy from sun for photosynthesis to take place. How? So this one is actually, they use this photosynthesis takes place in chloroplast. And then what is inside chloroplast? Chlorophyll. This chlorophyll is actually a green pigment that absorbs light energy. So we use back this logic only, no? So you just write, look. Plants cells contains green pigments that are called as chlorophylls. In chloroplast, which absorbs sunlight to obtain energy to carry out photosynthesis. Okay, so the points will be at chlorophylls. Must write lah. And then after that, absorb sunlight. But other than that, you also need to write. But the must write words is chloroplast, chlorophylls and absorb sunlight. So that is all for number 1. Number 2, I want you to use, let me see how many marks are there first. 7. So same lor. But this one is quite easy. So this one you use 10 minutes lah. Okay. Hi. So this one number 2. Let's look at A lah. Complete the balance. Okay, balance. And then chemical equation for photosynthesis process. So this one they want chemical equation, not word. Okay. So raw materials first lor. Carbon dioxide, CO2, and then plus with water, H2O. They will form glucose, C6H12O6 plus with oxygen, O2. And after that, balance. How to balance? At 6, 6, 6, 6. This is how you get your first 2 marks. And then after that, State the conversion of energy during the photosynthesis process. So this one, they absorb sunlight and then after that they produce glucose. When they produce glucose, this type of they are undergoing chemical reaction, so chemical energy. So this one, it's from light energy to chemical energy. Okay, this is how you get your first 4 marks lah. So this one, 1 mark. This one, 1 mark. Light energy, 1 mark. Chemical energy, another mark. Okay, let's look at C. Photosynthesis allows plants to produce carbohydrates. Okay, state 3 uses of carbohydrates in plants. So this one, we actually can give more than 3 lah. But let's see first. So this one, this one we straight away use glucose lah. So in glucose form, they can use you can say lah, carbohydrate glucose is used in respiration to release energy. And then other than that, carbohydrate is also used in making amino acid, or you can write protein production. So these two, you just choose one lah. And then glucose, some glucose lah, not all, is converted to starch to be stored in plant cells as energy storage lah. Let's see first for these 3 points. First one is respiration, release energy. And then second one, this one. Third one, converted to starch. And then energy storage. And then other than that, you also can write making chlorophylls for absorbing sunlight, and then cellulose for cell walls, nectars of fruits, and then converted to sucrose, and then used to transport to other parts of the plant. Okay, so this one you can jot down first, and then after you jot down this number 3, you should use 20 minutes. And then after that, you just come back to this question. Okay. Number 3. This one is sort of paper 6 question lah. An investigation was carried out by a student to identify the effect of concentration of carbon dioxide on rate of photosynthesis. So, concentration of carbon dioxide and then rate of photosynthesis. The student conducted the experiment using sodium hydrogen carbonate solution, of different concentration and counted the number of air bubbles released by, this one, in 1 minute. 1 minute is the controlled variable. So we call it as CV lah. Time. And then manipulating variable, or in Chinese you say 操纵性变数lah. This one is concentration of carbon dioxide. This one they use sodium hydrogen carbonate solution to control it lah. And then responding variable is rate of photosynthesis. So this one let's move on to next page first. Okay. This is the setup. Sodium hydrogen carbonate solution is at here lah. And then lamp is for the sunlight lah. Ruler is to measure the distance. This one is related to the exposure of sunlight. And then this one water bath so that the temperature remains same lah. And then stopwatch is for counting the time. So A, state the purpose of each apparatus or material in the experimental setup. So what is the difference of apparatus and materials? Apparatus is those things can be reused. Material cannot be reused. So water bath is actually you use already and then you just throw it away lah. So this one purpose of water bath is actually to maintain a constant temperature. And then thermometer is to measure or check or monitor. I think the best word is monitor lah, by the way. The temperature of water. Ruler is to make sure, this one is about the distance lah. So to ensure the length is always at a fixed distance away from beaker. So this one keyword is maintain constant temperature, monitor temperature of water. This one is fixed distance. from bigger. Okay, so still got sodium hydrogen carbonate solution. This one basically is to supply carbon dioxide. Okay, let's look at B. Figure 3.2 shows the results obtained by the student. Okay, so this one is release per minute, and then this one is concentration lah. So notice that the photosynthesis rate is actually increasing until a certain point becomes constant. So this one is they already reached the limiting factor lah. Okay, let's look at B1 lah. Describe the result based on information given in the graph. So this one you can write this one. You choose, I think don't write this one lah, because this one is actually means the photosynthesis. Wait, this one is concentration lah, correct. So here you write the photosynthesis rate increases as the concentration of carbon dioxide increases. Then levels off at concentration of 0.8%. So this one means that until here until 0.8, the concentration actually starts to stop increasing lah. Okay, and then after that the photosynthesis rate remains constant. When the concentration of carbon dioxide is above, means after 0.8 they stop increasing lah, remains constant. So 4 marks from where? This one, first mark is photosynthesis rate increase. This one is your first mark. And then you have to write until where? Levels off at this one, 0.8%. And then after that remains constant. And then above lah. So this one 1 mark, 2 mark, 3 mark, 4 mark. Okay, so let's move on to B2. Okay, explain the reasons for the shape of graph at part B. So let's look at part B. This part why is it remaining constant? because there is other limiting factor. But not a concentration of carbon dioxide anymore. Maybe it's light intensity, maybe it's temperature. This one we don't know, so we have to explain lor. So this one, the shape of graph, you have to explain first how the shape of the graph is at part B. So the graphs levels off means stop increasing lah at concentration of 0.8%. This means that concentration of carbon dioxide is no longer the limiting factor. And then the other factors such as light intensity or temperature could be limiting the rate of photosynthesis. Okay, and then you can write explain further for the factors. Light provides energy for photosynthesis, while temperature affects the enzyme activity for photosynthesis. Okay, so this one no longer a limiting factor, this one must write. And then what factors, light intensity or temperature, could be limiting rate of photosynthesis? This one is second mark. And then after that, third mark, you explain one of them enough already. But since we are practicing, we write as many points as possible. So light actually provides energy, temperature affects the enzyme activity. Okay. C. State how student would calculate rate of photosynthesis for this experiment. This one, they already know. Number of bubbles released by the plants is divided by 60 seconds. Just like that lah. So this one, divided is the keyword lah. Okay, so that is all for biology. If you really include the time for you to do by yourself, it should be more than 2 hours already lah. So that's all for bio. See you in chemistry.